Hello everyone. So today we are starting a new chapter, electrophilic addition to CC multiple bond. So in today's video we will just have some introductory idea. Fine. So first of all we have to know what is addition reaction. So in addition reaction all the reagent atoms are added to the reactants. Fine. And thus the product contains all the atoms of the reactants as well as of the reagent. So suppose we have any substrate A and we are adding the reagent B. So the product, if it is C, then in C, A and B that will be combined. So there is no extra part left. Okay. So that is why it is addition reaction. So here we have some examples. Suppose this is our substrate, this one. So we are adding Br2. So what will happen? There will be addition of 2 bromine to these 2 carbon. So one of the pi, that is 1 pi bond, that will be broken because there is 1 pi bond and 1 sigma bond. So here the pi bond that will be broken and we will have 2 CBr sigma bond. So these 2 bonds are newly formed sigma bond. Okay. In the next example we have CO double bond. So here H and Cn, this is our reagent. So Cn will be attached with carbon and H will be attached with oxygen. So we are getting this product. See here we do not have any extra part. So all that is reagent and substrate both are combined to each other. So that is why it is addition reaction. And the last example, here we have CC triple bond. So 2 pi bonds are there and 1 sigma bond. 1 sigma, 2 pi bond. So one of the pi bond will be broken and there will be formation of CBr bond and CH bond. Okay. Now if we add some extra HBr, that is excess HBr, then further CBr bond formation and H bond formation that will take place. Okay. So this will be CH3, not CH2. So what is the key pattern here? The key pattern here is 1 pi bond that will be broken if there are more than 1 pi bond, that is in case of CC triple bond. So 1 pi bond is broken and if it is alkene obviously there is only 1 pi bond. Here also we have only 1 pi bond. Okay. So that pi bond will be broken. Sigma bond will remain intact. So 1 pi bond will be broken and 2 single bonds will be formed. So these are the newly formed 2 sigma bonds. So we can say that this addition reaction, it is reverse of elimination. Fine. Because elimination reaction we have already seen that some part from the substrate that is removed, that is eliminated. But now what we are doing? We are doing the reverse. That is we are adding some part to our substrate and there is nothing, that is no part is left extra after the reaction. Fine. So we will see where the reaction, that is addition reaction, it will take place. So the substrate, there must be multiple bonds. Now these multiple bonds, it may be CC double bond. Okay, that is our substrate may be alkene. It may be CC triple bond, that is alkyne. So molecules with triple bond. And it also may be that carbon hetero double bonds. For example, carbon and heteroatom, that is oxygen. Oxygen is our heteroatom. Or it may be Cn, that is N is heteroatom here. So this type of multiple bonds must be present. Now why it is so? Because as we have said that the key pattern is 1 pi bond will be broken. So there must be 1 pi bond. So multiple bonds must be present. Fine. So sigma bond will remain intact but the pi bond that will be broken. So these are some of the examples of addition reaction. Now there are different types of addition reaction. Here we have some columns and in each column we have first type of reaction, then we have the reagent name, then we have the reagent symbol, then product, and finally the nature of the product, that is under which family the product belongs. So here the first reagent that we are using is hydrogen in presence of metal, that is metal catalyzed hydrogenation. See, the reagent name is hydrogen and from the reagent name the reaction name is hydrogenation. So this is our final product, right? So the initial substrate is RCH double bond CHR. So here 2 hydrogen, that is 2 CH bond newly formed. So one, that is pi bond, will be broken. Sigma bond will remain intact. This is a sigma bond which is intact. Pi bond, that is just broken. So finally the compound that we are getting, this is alkane. And the next reaction is hydration. So here we are adding H2O in presence of H+, that is acid catalyzed hydration. So reagent is water, and hydration means it is the net addition of H and OH. Okay, and as we are adding water, so that is why the name of the reaction is hydration. Next we have our reagent halogen. It may be Br2 or Cl2. So the product, that is the type of the reaction, that is halogenation, and the product that we are getting, that is haloalkane. So here 2 CBr bond is formed, or we can say that carbon halogen, if we are saying in general, carbon halogen bond is formed. Our next reaction is, we are adding HBr or HCl, that is hydrogen halide we are adding. In general we can write in this way, HX. So it is hydrohalogenation, hydro H, halogenation X. So we are adding H and X to the CC double bond. So our compound is, again it is haloalkane, because halogen is present in the alkane. One of the hydrogen is replaced by halogen, that is why it is haloalkane. And the last example, our reagent is MnO4, that actually KMnO4 is used, potassium permanganate, and the reaction is oxidation. Why it is oxidation? Because 2 COH bond is formed. So the product is diol. Okay. So basically in other videos we will go into the details of each of this reaction. So here we have some primary idea that what are the different types of addition reaction. Types of addition reaction. So suppose our starting material is RCH double bond CHR. Now depending on what type of reagent we are using, it may be electrophilic addition, it may be nucleophilic addition, or free radical addition. So if it is electrophilic addition, that means our reagent is electrophile, that is electron deficient species. And if it is nucleophilic addition, then our reagent is some nucleophile. And if it is free radical, then our reagent is R dot. So basically the names that we are using, electrophilic, nucleophilic, free radical, all these are based on what type of reagent we are using. So it is based on reagent, it is not based on substrate. So when our reagent is electrophile, then our substrate, it will act as nucleophile. And when we are using nucleophile, then the substrate, it should act as electrophile. Fine. And R dot, that is a free radical, when we are using, basically there will be free radical mechanism. But our topic is basically based on electrophilic addition, because it is mostly it is observed in case of CC multiple bond. So why at the addition of CC bond, it is mostly electrophilic, that is it falls under this category. So what may be the reason? The reason is, here we have pi bond and sigma bond. So pi bond, it is very loosely held. Okay, so if we see the bonding in alkene, you can see here the sigma bond, that is held very tightly. It is held very tightly, but the pi bond, as it is formed by sidewise overlap of p orbital, it is formed by sidewise overlap of the p orbital. This is one half of the pi bond, this is another half of the pi bond. So that is why compared to sigma bond, it is loosely held. So it is easily available towards electron deficient species. So that's why when the E plus is attacking, it can readily approach towards the loosely held pi bond. That is, now the loosely held pi bond, that is this part, as if it is acting as nucleophile and it is approaching toward the electron deficient species. So this is our electrophile. But if suppose some nucleophile is approaching here, so it is not very favorable process. Why? Because already there is some loosely held electron density, and we are adding the reagent that is also nucleophile. Nucleophile means it is already electron rich. So there will be electron repulsion. So basically that is the actual reason why electrophilic addition that is mostly observed in case of CC multiple bond. It is not nucleophilic addition. Okay. So the negative charge cloud of pi orbital, it shields the molecule from attack of nucleophile. So there will be electron-electron repulsion because our pi bond that is also loosely held, and the nucleophile that we are adding that is also electron rich. So obviously both are electron rich. And the second reason is CC moiety that can readily offer is loosely held pi electrons to electrophiles, because electrophiles they are already electron deficient. So that is the reason that addition to CC multiple bond, it is most electrophilic, and our topic is based on electrophilic addition to CC multiple bond. Here we will see the mechanism, that is a general mechanism. So suppose we have CC bond, there may be any group, I am not writing the group, and our electrophile is E. Now free electrophile, mostly that is not possible. So obviously there will be some counterpart which is the negative part, because electrophile it is the positive part. With it there will be some counterpart. Suppose I am writing that as Nu. Don't think it is nucleophilic addition. It is electrophilic addition because it is based on E plus. But as I am saying, there must be some negative part. So that is why it is Nu. Okay. So after the reaction, this is the final product. So the positive part, that is the E part, that is also added to C by sigma bond, and nucleophilic part that is also added to C by another sigma bond. So this is the net reaction. Now we will see what is the mechanism. First step. So in the first step, we will write the alkene in a plane, because both the carbon sp2, so it is planar. Now the pi electron that will be above and below this plane. Now we are adding our E plus. So there will be formation of some pi complex with the electrophile. Now it is not necessary that pi complex it will be formed. It may be formed in some cases. So this is a pi complex. There is no actual sigma bond formation. There is just interaction between the pi electron cloud and the electrophile. This is just the interaction. Okay. Now in the next step, actual carbon electrophile sigma bond will be formed. So there will be positive charge over another carbon. So this is one possibility, and another possibility is, though here we do not know what type of groups are attached to these two carbons, but depending on the groups, any of these carbocation may be stable. So now in the first case, I have drawn the carbocation on the right hand side. Now I will draw it on the left hand side. Okay. So these are the possibilities. Now there is another possibility. Suppose our E, that is our electrophile, if there is some unshared electron pair, suppose there is some lone pair present. So in that case, some cyclic intermediate formation is possible like this. So it is mostly observed in case of when our E plus is Br. Then this type of cyclic intermediate formation is possible. Remember, it is a special case when there is some unshared electron pair. Otherwise, it is not possible. So these are our intermediate, and this is the first step. That is the formation of carbocation or this type of cyclic intermediate. Now in the next step, that is the second step. I am using another color. So in the second step, what will happen? Now this nucleophilic part, that is the negative part, it will attack here. So we are getting this is the final product, right? And if you consider this cyclic intermediate, then nucleophile, it can approach any of these carbon. Now again, as I am saying, it depends on what type of groups are attached here. As I am doing here the general mechanism, so we cannot say which carbocation or which that is positive charge on which carbon will be more stable, that we cannot say, but both are possible. So if the nucleophile is attacking on the left hand side carbon, this carbon E bond will be broken, and if the nucleophile is attacking on the right hand side carbon, this bond will be broken. Okay, so two possibilities are or okay. So this is the second step. Now next thing that we have to know, that among these two steps, first step and second step, the first step is the carbocation formation or the cyclic intermediate formation, and the second step is this carbon nucleophile bond will be formed. Not nucleophile, that is, you can say that the negative part of the reagent. So this is our actual reagent, right? So another part that will be added in the second step, that is a sigma bond will be formed between the carbocation and the negative part of our reagent. Now among these two steps, which one will be rate determining step, that we have to check. But before that, we will see what is the energy profile diagram. So energy profile diagram, if we draw, this is the energy, this is the reaction progress in x-axis. So this is the first step, and this is the second step. So here we have our substrate and ENU. This is transition state 1, this is transition state 2. Now this is our intermediate. I am writing here I. Now see this energy gap, if you compare with this one, suppose this is E1, this is E2. So here E1 is greater than E2. That means first step is rate determining step. Okay. Now how we can prove that? So to prove that the first step is rate determining step, the experiment that we can do, the initial substrate, that is our alkene, if we can add some group which will increase the electron density of the alkene, then obviously the rate of the reaction will increase. Why? Because our intermediate is positively charged. So if it is positively charged, that means any electron donating group, it will make the positively charged intermediate stable. But if we are adding some electron withdrawing group to the alkene, obviously the intermediate will be unstable, and the energy of the intermediate, that will increase. As a result, this E1 value, that will also, that is activation energy, that will be high. So the reaction rate will be slow. So basically we will take that type of alkene where the rate determining step, that will be fast, and as a result the overall rate of the reaction, that will also be fast. So what experiment we can do here? One experimental result is given. So this is the relative rate of addition of bromine. So our ENU is basically here bromine. So you can consider one Br as positively charged. So I am writing partial charge here, another Br is partially negative. So our E is Br, Nu is also Br. So relative rate of addition of bromine to different types of alkenes in dichloromethane or DCM at minus 78 degrees centigrade. So see what type of alkenes we have taken. CH2 double bond CHBr. So here we have some electron withdrawing group. Then this is simple alkene, no withdrawing group or donating group is present. Then we have added methyl group. Now methyl group, it has plus I effect. Next alkene we have added 2 methyl groups. So more plus I effect. The next alkene, here you can see 2 methyl group on the left hand side, 1 methyl group on the right hand side. So now the plus I effect even increased. And in the last one, this is a maximum plus I effect because we have total 4 methyl groups, right? Now see, as we are moving down, basically we are increasing the electron donating group, right? And look at the rate. As we are moving down, the rate is increasing. So what it proves? It proves that as we are adding electron donating group, rate of the reaction increases, right? And when there is electron withdrawing group, the rate of the reaction, that is minimum here, because among all these alkenes only you can see in this alkene there is electron withdrawing group, and that is why the rate is so low. Okay, so from 0.04 now it is 1, then 2.03, 5.53. so basically it is gradually increasing. So it proves that the first step is RDS, because if the first step is not RDS, then by changing different types of groups in the alkene, we should not observe this type of increase in rate. But we are observing increase in rate. That means the first step is rate determining step. So with addition of electron withdrawing group, basically we are getting stable intermediate. So electron donating group, it will make the intermediate stable. That is why the rate of the slow step, that is the first step, is increased, and as a result the overall rate of the reaction, that is also increased. Okay, so that's all about the part 1. In the next video we will see the addition of HX to CC double bond. Okay, so if you find the video helpful, please like, share and subscribe. I'll meet you in the next video. Until then, goodbye. Thank you for your time.